Hey guys, UK here from Oregon Fishing Forums. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the hair rig, why we use the hair rig in England and Europe, and what makes it so special, how to make it, all that good stuff. So getting right down to it, let's go over the rig. So this is a very well proven hair rig. I'm just going to go through the basics. What you've got, we've got some bait with a bait stop on the hair. I'll go over how you put that on in a sec. You got a size 8 hook, a little bit of shrink tubing, 15-pound braid, and then a size 8 swivel with a little bit more shrink tubing. Now, how's this going to look on the bottom? Well, I've got a little point shot on there, a little BB, and this, a pop-up boilie, it pops up, it floats. So this is how it's going to look on the bottom. You see that? Now if it didn't have that little BB shot there, it'd be floating all the way up to wherever the lead is. So however long your hook length is, that's how far it would float. We don't want that. Now the reason I use pop-ups mostly is because of the weeds. Most of the lakes have fish so far in Oregon are really weedy. We want our bait to be just above the weeds if we're casting into the weeds. So it's going to sit like that. Now what's going to happen? Fish is going to come along. It's going to swallow the bait. When it swallows the bait, it doesn't even know this hook is here at this point. The hook is facing down. It's going to go straight into the bottom lip. There's a turning mechanism to it because of that shrink tube. I'll show you that in a sec. But it's going to swallow the bait and it's going to get lip hooked on its own. You don't need to strike because of the weight of the lead system. And that's why this rig is just so killer. Let's go over the lip. So this is the swivel to the main line. This is your main line. It's going to have your lead. And the end of the swivel actually goes inside the lead. This is called an inline lead, specifically for carp fishing. What that's going to do is that's going to sit on the bottom. Your rig's going to be all nice on the bottom like that. When the fish takes the bait, it's hooked. It's not going to lift the weight of this lead. The weight of this lead will hook the fish for you. So you don't need to strike. You'll have a fish. Alright? It's the lead system. So somebody asked, well, why do you use a hair? Well, for starters, if you're going to hook a soft bait onto a hook, like a piece of corn or a piece of meat, or something like that, it's going to look like a hook bait. It's going to look like a piece of corn on the hook. It's going to look like a piece of meat on the hook. And they're going to see it. They're going to see the glint of the hook. When you have your bait over here, your bait away from the hook, they're not going to initially see that hook. It's not going to be on a hook. Also, using a hair, it's essential for soft baits. If you put a piece of corn on your hook and cast it out, 20 seconds later that piece of corn's gone. That piece of corn isn't going to stay on a hook. Never does. Over here, this boilie will never in a million years come off. It's basically attached to the rig. And this is why we use hair rigs. Corn, maize, soft baits, lunch meat, things like that. Things that carp absolutely love. Go on there, onto a boilie stop. Use a little tool. I'll show you a couple of the tools now. A little baiting needle. So we go through the boilie, thread the boilie onto the hair, and then put your boilie stop on. If you've got harder baits like a pop-up boilie, you're going to use a bait drill, drill a hole in, thread your bait needle through it, slide it down onto the hair. This thing works for corn, for basically everything. They're about $1, so if you're going to carp fish or if you're going to use hair, you're going to need a few things. You absolutely need a baiting needle, you absolutely need some bait stops. You just cut a little, 2 pieces off the end, a little piece of plastic goes underneath the loop, pull it down tight, and that bait is never going to come off. It's also not on the hook, so they're not going to see it. They're not going to see the hook until it's too late. Different type of baits, different type of rigs. You've got your traditional boilie here. These boilies aren't designed to float like the pop-ups. These are just bottom bait, bottom boilies. Corn flavor, Indian food flavor, different sizes, different flavors, different colors. More pop-ups, strawberry ice cream flavor. They love these at Commonwealth Lake. If you fish Commonwealth, get your hands on some of these. Come and see me while I'm down there. I'll give you a handful. These are killer baits. And that's pretty much it. Going on to line a little bit. Somebody asked about what kind of line. I use 10-pound camo line. If you can see that, it's a regular mono, 10-pound line, but it's camouflage. It's one of those it's not painted, but it's the way it's made, the dyes in it or whatever. It's completely camouflage. It looks a lot better on the bottom. I've actually tested this in a tank with this pop-up rig, and the line is almost invisible against like a weedy bottom. It is absolutely awesome. So you can invest in something like that. I mean, it's the same price as regular mono. Get it from realcarp.com. I get a lot of my stuff from realcarp.com. Some special sweet corn. This hardened sweet corn looks just the same as canned sweet corn, but it's a lot harder. It stays on the hair. I mean, I had 2 pieces of this stay on this hair for about 100 casts and an 8-hour session last week. So I mean, that's why I use a hair. Obviously corn's going to sit on the bottom like this. Exactly the same principle. They're not going to see the hook, they're going to see the bait. They're going to take the bait, bang, the hook. It's because of the weight of the lead. Leads, all different size, shapes, colours. You know, the British, the European carp tackle manufacturers have spent millions and millions of pounds or dollars or whatever currency they're spending, like developing leads that, you know, fly through the air, that sit on the bottom better, that come through the weeds better, all different kinds of leads. I'm not going to get into those, but just grab a couple of cheap little inline leads. Inline meaning it goes through your line, threaded through your line into your swivel. That's about it. So yeah, show you how they come pre-tied. Talk about those just really quick. So this is a brand everybody knows in England and Europe. It's called Chubb. Excellent brand. They make really high quality stuff. This rig, self-tied, shrink tube, ready to go, tie on your main line, was $2. Now if you're going to make, I don't know, 10 rigs, 10 carp rigs, you're going to need a roller braid, you're going to need swivels, you're going to need hooks, and then, you know, if you want that hooking effect, if you want, you know, these rigs to really shine with the shrink tube and stuff like that, and then it's going to take you forever to make them. So I mean, I'd highly suggest going and buying a couple of these, $2 a pop. If you're good about fishing, you're not going into snags and stuff like this. I've had 6 of them last me a year now, so pretty good investment. Different types of rig setups, different lengths of hook lengths. Obviously this is quite a short hook length. This is about 7 inches. They can go all the way through to like 12 inches if it's really weedy, or if you're missing bites, or if it's not hooking, or if it's not sitting on the bottom properly. So that's the rig. I suggest you go buy some, give it a go. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know.